Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, coach of your Wexford Wailords, and welcome to our Week 1 TDL episode 4, Season 2 of the Third Dimension League, or the TDL for short. For you guys who are new, you may not know what this is. It's just the Pokemon League. Definitely check out the draft recap to see what the rules are and the team we drafted and all the nuances behind it. But for you guys who know what this is all about, welcome back to Season 2, and we do kick it off. We do kick off this week against Red Rampage, coach of your Cleveland Claunchers. Red is a return Season 1 coach. He didn't make playoffs, but you know, I'm still not taking him lightly because I didn't get to battle him last season, and he does have a very scary team, which you will be able to see up above you now, or up above me on your screen right now. But we'll very quickly talk through what he's got as well. He's got a Tapu Koko, an Infernape, a Hydreigon, which is his Z captain, so that's the only Pokemon that can use a Z move. He's got Mega Pinsir, Vaporeon, Shaman, Registeel, Mudsdale, Komola, Lincoln Rock midday form, and the Alolan Raichu. So, pretty scary team. To be honest, his first 6 picks and the Alolan Raichu for me are absolutely petrifying. I think anybody who looks at that team is going to be scared, trying to figure out what to do, how we're going to be able to combat a couple of those threats. The Tapu Koko's got ridiculous speed with base 130 speed, and the electric terrain just boosts all of his electric type attacks. Infernape, try and test it in the format. Hydreigon as a Z captain can do so much. Very, very scary mon. Mega Pinsir, once it gets the Solar Sense up, can just tear through teams. Like, I mean, just dismantle them. Vaporeon is a really nice bulky wall. Shaman, very nice bulky grass type. And then the Alolan Raichu gets like double speed, and it's already got base 110 speed once it's in the electric terrain. So, not nice. I'm not too scared of Registeel, the Mudsdale, the Komala, or the Lincoln Rock. To be honest, I think our team's more than capable of handling that on any given Sunday, really. But that is the team he's facing up against, and without further ado, let's jump into the team that he's playing. So let me just move this over here so I can, you know, just make sure I know what his team is the whole time. Right, looking at his team, and you know, I'll go through the reason behind this. I saw a good few weaknesses on his team. I saw the Tapu Koko having a ground weakness, the Infernape having a ground weakness, I saw the Registeel having a ground weakness, I saw the Link Rock Midday having a ground weakness, and I saw the Alolan Raichu having a ground weakness. So, lots of ground weaknesses. Now he's got an immunity in Hydreigon and Mega Pinsir with that Mega Evolves, and he's got a resistance in Shaman. But, and of course he's got Vaporeon to come in on them as well. But for me, he's got too many weaknesses, so I need to exploit it as much as I possibly can. On top of that, he's got an awful lot of offensive threats, like the Tapu Koko, the Infernape, the Hydreigon, the Alolan Raichu, and the Mega Pinsir. Very, very much huge offensive threats. And that kind of led me to decide to bring Scorpia or Gligar this week. So I decided to bring this set, max physical defense, max HP, to just counter physical offensive threats on his team. Like, just a hard stopgap for it, because physical Tapu Koko that can't really touch us with this Gligar. The Infernape doesn't like going up against us unless it's got hidden power ice. I have to watch out for that, but it doesn't, not too keen on it all the same. We can kind of sponge 1 or 2 hits off with the Hydreigon, but no, you know, that's not the main thing it is hit for. It's mainly hit to you with Tapu Koko, Infernape, and Mega Pinsir. So Mega Pinsir, once it gets the Solar Sense off, you know, still doesn't quite outcode Gligar, so we can kind of come in Rock Slide when we can come in on a predicted Solar Sense and just click the Rock Slide, and you know, we can actually outcode a Mega Pinsir there. So that's very useful to have. We also kind of deal with the Registeel very nicely. We kind of wall the Mudsdale pretty nicely too, and we can go up against the Link Rock exceptionally nicely too. So you know, Gligar kind of comes in, like Scorpia comes in on Red's team and can, you know, wall an awful lot, which is very, very nice. Gotta be careful of the Alolan Raichu, because that thing does get Surf, and that is scary. And we gotta be careful of the Vaporeon, because that is scary too. Moveset wise, I'm bringing Earthquake, Rock Slide, Roost, and U-Turn. Earthquake for the electric types and the and the fire types. I have Rock Slide to deal with the Mega Pinsir. I have Roost to get back some health when we do get worn down, and then I have U-turn just for a bit of utility to get us to give us a bit of switch initiative when, you know, we're what you call it, when I predict red to actually go for the switch, and we can make a U-turn switch and get initiative back on our side. So that's kind of Gligar. Pretty fundamental set, if I'm going to be honest. It's here to sponge as much hits, physical hits as humanly possible and wreck people as, yeah, let's just work offline if, you know, my internet is going to be that mean to me. Right, next up after that, I decided to bring, I kind of decided on the first four as soon as I looked at his team, and it kind of took me a while to kind of piece together what I wanted to bring. I'll jump to Solar Panel next, because I think that'll be the easiest one to describe. So I decided to bring Solar Panel because he's got Mudsdale as a ground type, and I know for a fact he's not bringing Mudsdale. It's just not happening. And if he does bring Mudsdale, I'm just going to wreck it, because I've surfed on my Helios. So I know he's not bringing Mudsdale, and for me, that pretty much just gives me free license to just click Volt Switch every single turn. Just click Volt Switch every turn. You know, no questions asked, just Volt Switch out, Volt Switch out, Volt Switch out, easy. I can lean with Solar Panel, just click the Volt Switch, and with the electric terrain, which is a huge boost to me, it means my my electric type attacks are going to do that much more to Red's team. So, you know, bringing electric terrain isn't always a good thing, and hopefully we can turn that around on him in this matchup. I'll bring the Thunderbolt as well to get some pure raw damage off on a couple of his mons, particularly the Vaporeon, because the Vaporeon is scary and I do need Solar Panel around to deal with that. I'll bring the Focus Blast to deal with the Hydreigon, because I didn't see the need to bring Hidden Power. I didn't see the need to bring Hidden Power Ice Force because I have the Focus Blast. And then I'll bring the Surf to deal with likes of the Mudsdale and the Infernape and all that kind of fun stuff on a switch. I'm not 1v1 Infernape because of that. Is definitely going to be carrying Mach Punch to deal with my Solar Panel, so no way we are going to be bringing that. You know, there was no need to bring any Hidden Powers. Our coverage with Helios this week was fantastic. It was spot on. Bring the Expert Belt because Electric Terrain boosted, Expert Belt boosted Thunderbolt on a Vaporeon. Good luck, Vaporeon, living that. That's all I gotta say. It's huge. It does really help, and especially on if we work on a Mega Pinsir as well, which would be very, very nice indeed. Set wise, I'm bringing Max Speed, Max Special Attack, and 4 Inspire F. And the reason why I'm bringing that is because the Infernape does outspeed me. If it came to the case where I have to, you know, after a couple of predictions on me predicting his Mach Punch, he's not going to go for it anymore, and then I might be able to psych him out and go for something else just to scare him. Or of course, on the slim 2% chance he doesn't bring Mach Punch, we'll outspeed him, we'll be able to kill it. So that's the reason why I'm bringing Max Speed this week. Otherwise, I'd be bringing enough to outspeed the Shaman, which I am doing on Keldeo. So Ponyboy is our choice guy for this week. The reason why I felt I'd bring Ponyboy as our choice guy for is because we speed high Infernape, so I'd like to be able to outspeed Infernape, and I'd like to be able to outspeed the Tapu Koko. Somebody on my team to be able to outspeed it, and if I have the Keldeo to be able to do that, I'd be able to launch Hydro Pumps and really hurt the Tapu Koko or anything that wants to come in on it. So I decided to bring Keldeo as our choice Scarf user. I'm bringing Scald because that's the kind of go-to move at the start of the game when you were not forcing the issue. Just get Scald, try and get some Scald burns going. That'd be very nice. Bring the Secret Sword because it's just good, and if you know, it's the coverage I need to deal with the Hydreigon and the Registeel and the Lincoln Rock if they come, and the Komala as well. He might bring Komala because it's Wish Passive, but I doubt it. So that gives me the nice coverage there, and also allows me to actually hit a couple of Pokemon like the Shaman, for example. It allows me to hit them pretty nicely. We'll bring Hidden Power Rock as well to help deal with Mega Pinsir if that comes in on a switch. I severely doubt it though. If he's, I don't see him bringing a switch in Mega Pinsir on a switch. He'll try and bring it in as cleanly as possible. And last but not least, I'm bringing Hydro Pump just for sheer power, absolute sheer force of power. And then the EV sets we have 200 in speed, so we outspeed Choice Scarf Shaman if that is brought. Of course, we have the IVs here for Hidden Power Rock, and then the rest just goes into bulk, and we have max special attack. So that is Ponyboy in a nutshell. Very nice. Just going to come in, Scald, Secret Sword, Hydro Pump, just put pressure on the team and slowly wear them out. Now, this is where the sets kind of get a little bit more interesting, because those were kind of very standard kind of sets that we were going to be bringing, but it got a little bit more interesting here because I needed, like, there's an awful lot of threats on this team that I still really need to be countered. Like, I have one way to deal with Mega Pinsir, but it's not, you know, you need a couple of ways to deal with Pinsir, otherwise it is going to run through your team. Don't really have anything that wants to deal with Hydreigon. Don't really have anything that wants to deal with Tapu, Koko, the Raichu, nothing that really wants to outspeed it particularly well. Looking at the rest of his team, you know, nothing else was giving me much bother, but he does have a couple of really fast, powerful threats. And especially on the special side, and I decided to bring Dustin. Now, or T-Tar. Now, you're probably wondering, Irish, why aren't you bringing Sandvale with the Heliolisk? I'm bringing Dry Skin so I can safely come in on the Vaporeon Scald every time and just click Full Switch, Thunderbolt, whatever. So that's the reason why I'm bringing Dry Skin over Sandvale. But I'm bringing this T-Tar set. And you guys are probably looking that I'm bringing Max HP, Max Spadef with the Weakness Policy and the Rock Polish. I got this idea off Magmar when he PM'd me, and I was thinking it would be a great idea to bring 1 week. And I decided, you know, some week 1 is actually the best week for me to bring this, because T-Tar puts in the work. Once it sets up a Rock Slide and gets a Weakness Policy off, it puts in the finest. With the investment we have in Spadef, we live super effective hits off the Hydreigon, off the Tapu Koko, off the Alolan Raichu, off the Shaman, and off the Vaporeon. So that right there is bonkers. If we can live super effective hits off them, that means our Weakness Policy will go off. We can click Rock Polish that turn, and all of a sudden we have +2 attack in T-Tar. Now, granted, no attack investment, but we still have pretty decent attack, you know, regardless of not having investment. And we can kind of walk through his team a little bit. The only thing that kind of gives me a really big worry once we actually set up like that is that the Alolan Raichu can still outspeed us and potentially kill us once the electric terrain is up. So we got to be very careful about that. We have to make sure that we play the T-Tar card at the very right moment. Like the Earthquake, once we get this setup going, we wreck the Tapu Koko, we wreck the Infernape. Like, Infernape does an O-Coast with the Mach Punch and we outspeed it, so that's fine. I think it does. It only does like between 35 to 45%, which is bonkers. I think it does over. I think that's non-boosted, and I think if you get the full boost like Iron Head, Choice Band, all that, it does like 55, 60. So you know, if Infernape doesn't set up, he's in trouble. Like, you know, as well, if we can kind of just get rid of the Infernape, on top of that, it makes our lives a lot more easier. We have. Let me see what we deal with the Shaman nicely once it's worn down a bit. So as well with the Vaporeon, the Mega Pinsir, we destroy the Registeel, we destroy the rest of his squad essentially. It puts in the finest to work, and I figured why not bring this week. He won't expect it, and he'll be petrified when he sees a +2 attacking T-Tar with +2 speed. I think anybody would be kind of wetting themselves when they see that prospect in front of them. So I decided to bring T-Tar this week. Dustin's coming. As well, like with the massive Spadef buff we're going to get with the Sandstorm and the Spadef investment, it means we can come in on special type attacks like a Draco Meteor off the Hydreigon and such, and just sponge them. Just absolutely sponge them. Gotta be careful of the Z move off the Hydreigon no matter what we do. Gotta be careful 100%, and we will have to watch out for that. Okay, so I decided on those 4 very quickly, and then it was just sets I needed to fine tune, and those are the sets we decided to bring. After that, I kind of knew I had a couple of holes to fill. I didn't have another way to deal with Mega Pinsir, as I was saying, and I needed 2 ways to deal with that in some fashion. And I wanted Stealth Rocks because he has no real reliable way of getting rid of hazards. So I decided I needed Stealth Rocks as well for Mega Pinsir, just to wear that thing out. So Starman is coming this week because I was humming and hawing, and there's nothing else in my team that really deals with Mega Pinsir nicely, because he could have the Earthquake over the close combat, and that will wreck T-Tar and Starman at +2. You know, and Scorpia can only deal with 2 returns. Like, we've nothing really that wants to deal with it, but this Jirachi can help us deal with the Pinsir. So it's a strange set, I'm not gonna lie, but let me walk you through it. It's a physical defensive set to help us wall the Pinsir a little bit. We have Stealth Rock, so if we see a favourable matchup, we're just going to leave it Jirachi. We're going to set up our rocks and we're just going to leave it at that. We have U-turn, so we can get a bit of switch initiative. We have Wish, so I can keep my mons up healthy, because if Dustin wears down, gets worn down, I can't do the rock polish, weakness polish shenanigans. If Solar Panel gets worn down, and Vaporeon isn't dead yet, Vaporeon becomes an issue. If Pony Boy can stay healthy for as long as possible and just put offensive pressure on Red's team, we're doing very nicely. So I figured let's bring Wish. I think it'd be really helpful, especially with the slow U-turn on Jirachi. It means we can just Wish up U-turn and we'll be fine. And then I'm bringing Thunderbolt, because I need a way to hit Pinsir as hard as possible. Thunderbolt does that very nicely, and with Serene Grace we have 20% chance to paralyze it. So if he switches off on the, if he switches in or switches out on the Pinsir, if we land a Thunderbolt, we might have a chance to power, which would be very, very nice. EV wise, I'm bringing max HP and 228 physical defense with the relaxed nature. So this defensive means allows us to not be 2-AKO by a +2 return. It takes 3 returns to kill Jirachi, and that's guaranteed. The rest is put in special attack to allow Thunderbolt to hit that a little bit harder. And then I'm bringing the Sugar Berry, so as EQ does no cost if he's at +2. It's it only hits between 50-55% or something like that, and it means I can land my Thunderbolt and wear him out slowly. I could play around it at that point, because he's worn down to the point where he's useless, and that'd be awesome. And if I do somehow manage to get Parax on him, he's pretty much useless at that point. So it just means that we guaranteed Thunderbolt off on the Pinsir if we come in cleanly to try and 1v1 it. So that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. I'm kind of happy as well that we have the Scorpia, because we do have a bit of a ground weakness with Jirachi, but I think Jirachi just brings too much to the table to kind of not bring it. I needed rocks, and I needed something else to kind of 1v1 the Pinsir a little bit, but not. We don't. It's very hard to have a higher counter for Pinsir. Last one is we're bringing Predator, our Garchomp, and the reason why I'm bringing Predator is because when I've built my first 5 months, I knew my team can go one or two ways. It could go a bit more defensive, but I wasn't too keen on that. Or I could go a little bit more offensive and bring a bit more offensive pressure. Looking at my team, the reason why I didn't want to go too defensive, because I didn't want to be too passive, and I didn't, especially because he's got a couple of monsters set up on me, and that's not good. And now I don't want to be too passive, but I didn't feel like I had the Pokemon that would wall a couple of threats like the Mega Pinsir and the Hydreigon and the Infernape and the Tapu Koko and such. I didn't feel too comfortable with that then because of all that. And I know a lot of Raichu is an issue, but I think we should be okay with dealing with it, provided we still have a couple of mons knocking about, particularly Dustin and Solar Panel. But we should be fine. And Starman deals with the Alolan Raichu very nicely. And then I was looking at what other offensive mon I could bring, and I didn't want to bring the Charizard because I didn't want to bring hazard removal, because that was just going to be a real issue for me. And my team isn't very Stealth Rocks weak, so I was like, I have no problem actually having to deal with Stealth Rocks on this team. And I didn't want it to be the case where I had to bring hazard support then for Zard, just because I wanted to do Shaman a bit better. So I decided to bring a Swords Dancing Garchomp, because it gave me another physical attacker, which I don't have. It gives me something that can actually hit really hard on the physical side right off the bat, without Dustin having to wait on his weakness policy to be popped. I get great speed, so I naturally outspeed a Shaman, which I'm all for. It means I can hurt it pretty hard, and it gives me another Earthquake user that would be very nice to use on his team. So as I said, I'm bringing Swords Dance, so we can help set up. We have a few mods we can set up on. We can set up on the Shaman, funnily enough, because it does get Dazzling Gleam and the Sea Flare, but we can set up on it. I'm bringing the Dragon Claw, then the Earthquake, and the Fire Fang. So Fire Fang is for Shaman, plus 2 Fire Fang with Life Orb, Okos it, guaranteed. The Dragon Claw is just a nice bit of stab, and then the Earthquake, as we said, to kind of hurt his ground weakness, to target his ground weakness pretty heavily. I'm bringing Jolly Nature, so guaranteed outspeed the Shaman. I should, bear with me now, bear with me. Let's, bit of live editing, bit of live team building right here. This is the website I use to calculate the speed EVs that I need, and you know, so I know if I can put a bit more into bulk. 224, awesome, 224. So we're going to change that, and we're going to put the 28 here, because 32 gives us because if we put 32 there, it doesn't change, whereas the 4 here gives us an extra defensive EV with the rough skin, which is very, very nice. So yeah, that is the team. We now, because we're guaranteed to outspeed Shaman with that, and we don't need to speed out. We don't have anything else that we outspeed. We don't outspeed the Mega Pinsir when it Mega Evolves, and we don't outspeed the Infernape naturally. Looking at the rest of his team, Lincoln Rock is way too fast for us as it is. So we'll run with the speed. And I was humming and hawing about going Life Orb or Lumberry, because I might have to set up on a Scald, or I might get toxic, and I wanted the Lumberry then to just pop and we won't be status, but I miss out on key one-hit KOs if I do that, and I'm not a fan of that. Even though if I have Stealth Rocks up, it would help. I want guarantees with my Garchomp. I want Garchomp when he's in to hit as hard as possible, and then with the Wish on Starman as well, it might enable Garchomp to live a bit longer, even despite the Life Orb recoil on it. So yeah, that's the team for you guys for our week 1 matchup against the Cleveland Claunchers. If you guys like the team, let me know in the comment section down below. If you've got any kind of comments on the team, as to what I could be using throughout the season, or what I should be using in this matchup, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's team building episode, please click the like button down below. And of course, if you want to see more TDL action coming your way on this channel, or more Pokemon content in general, please click that subscribe button down below for me. On that note, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.